Beautiful souls, beautiful soul family. Here we are once more on the Live Lounge, the May edition 2023. Can you believe it? So I'm Caroline Crawford.
And I'm Paul Crawford.
And it's so good to be here with you. Those that are watching live on the Live Lounge and those that will be watching the recording on YouTube. I do have a little request to ask you. When you watch on the Live Lounge, when you watch the Live Lounge on YouTube, once you've finished watching the whole episode, it would be great if you could put your feedback in the comments for us. We really enjoy looking at that. And also, if there's any future topics you'd like us to discuss, to consider, we're really open discussing things, as long as they're, on that spiritual nature, personal growth, ascension. We're quite open to your suggestions, so leave them down below in the comments. We will read them and we look forward to receiving your feedback. So I'll hand you over to Paul, but it's so good to have you here with us. We really appreciate your presence and we feel that energy so much, so thank you.
And it's great. Life is about interacting, so it's a good way. Whilst it's on video, the interaction comes from the comments. Okay, so on this show, we will be having the energetics update, but it will be a brief outline of it. Caroline recorded it earlier that she channels from her team, Federation of Light, and that will be posted on both websites. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the links are all down below. We'll also be discussing returning to the inner authority of ourselves in times of uncertainty or unrest, and the importance that plays in helping to remove those elements of fear, anxiety and stress. Such an important element, comes from every direction in life. We'll also be having Jarama's our team Jarama with their words of wisdom as well, as always. But for now, we're going to kick things off with an overview of the energetics update from Caroline.
Greetings, dear friends. We are so delighted to have this opportunity to share with you anything we can that will help you move through any current anxieties or tension you may be experiencing. So the energies that are coming in to planet Earth through the universe and the cosmos at this time are bringing a lot of fast moving energy that is creating, and you may well already be aware of this, that is causing a lot of changes. And when humans go through changes, there's a tendency to feel an anxiety. So when you feel that anxiety or any tension, we would advise you, dearly beloveds, to acknowledge that. For if you push down or suppress any of that anxiety, it just starts to build. But if you can acknowledge that anxiety and take a step back and just realize where this energy is coming from and breathe in that peace, calm and light from your higher self, you'll find that allows that energy or any energy of anxiety to move through you and out. The importance is acknowledging and then releasing and knowing that you have the power and the capacity to draw on that energy of the divine part of you, to transmute those energies and to help you know that when you're in alignment with that element of your soul, your heart, you experience a greater clarity, a greater peacefulness, that your strength and your inspiration and your guidance can then flow forth, helping you to take each step along your soul's pathway to that greater expansion. For this is what these energies are here to do. To increase that expansion of your soul, of your divinity, into planet Earth, into your humanity. Because remember, dear ones, this physical body is just the vessel. It is a container. And lots of times the anxiety that you may experience, or tension or fear, affects the lower chakras, the solar plexus, the navel, the sacral, the root chakra. So when you acknowledge any of that, when you tune into your feelings and you realize that there's a little imbalance, there's something off center, as you address that by taking some deeper breaths into those lower chakras, and imagine that light that is contained within your breath moving into that tension, transforming it and bringing in that peacefulness with a certain detachment from that anxiety or tension. This will enable you to come into a greater alignment with the most empowering energies. Those empowering energies are always available to you, but by being conscious of your thoughts, but most of all conscious of the thoughts you choose, you are going to empower yourself on a greater level to ease out that tension and anxiety. We would also encourage you to remember the simple things that bring you pleasure. Whatever brings you pleasure, make sure that you're finding a balance and a variety of your life, whether it's walking in nature, watching the birds, walking on the beach, in the forest, playing your singing bowls, using that energy of your innate self and those healer friends that share your pathway. It may be hands-on healing. There may be a time when you need more of that. It may be a time for just some conscious conversation without judgment. But by raising your energy and allowing and giving yourself that nourishment of mind, nourishment of body and of soul, this is going to help that expansion. For the expansion of your soul is what your soul has come here on earth to do. So, by acknowledging that anxiety, you will help yourself to release that and move into greater states of balance and of being. We will just mention that sometimes when you feel this anxiety, as you engage with it, it may temporarily just feel an increase. But remember, the anxiety comes from the lower states of mind. And as you bring in that higher state of mind, dear ones, it will calm and reassure those anxieties so you can align with the truth of who you are, to empower you. And as it empowers you, that resonates out to those around you, even your animals, your family, your friends, your soulmates, up into the collective. So these energies right now are fast moving because they're bringing about a cleansing. They're bringing about a clearing so you can feel that strength of your soul and live from that place within you. And before we go, we're just going to give you one of our most empowering mantras. It's so easy, but we know that these words are encoded with light that not only strengthen you, but activate that light, that crystalline light within you. So the I am mantras are particularly powerful. So we invite you and encourage you to use I am the light. I am the love. I am all that is. And so it is. And any time, beloved, you have any anxiety, stress, tension, despair, you feel you've walked off that main path, use this mantra. Know that all benevolent beings are there for you at any time. Just send that thought out, for you are all energy and everything is connected. So be aware of these changes taking place. Detach if any changes are making you anxious. Acknowledge that. Allow it to move through you so you can reach that higher state of existence, of consciousness. We love you so profoundly. We are always with you. Love who you are. Shine your light. Be your light. Goodbye for now, beloveds. Much love.
Thank you, Caroline, and thank you, Federation of Light. Well, some interesting words there, and some words to fill us with a great positivity. I don't know about you, but when I'm listening to that, it also helps me to relax, and with that relaxation, I almost start to think of things in a new way, in a different way. And when we're experiencing times of uncertainty and unrest, and that can create, or often can create, tensions within ourselves, either through fear, anxiety, or some other element of emotions. It's actually allowing ourselves through that relaxation to actually help to reduce that. And in reducing things, when we're able to reduce the anxieties, we actually start to create a greater clarity. And when we allow that to happen, we actually start to hear the voice, that inner voice of our soul's guidance, a lot more loudly, a lot more clearer, actually to bring forward that assistance that we need to help take us through this life. And that's part of what we're here for. It's allowing that inner guidance of our soul that is always there and always wants the very best for us, to assist us in everything that we're doing. So it's through that allowing, as the Federation were just saying, everything is about allowing. It's about moving through. It's about letting go of maybe, and some of aspects of it is the old ways of how we were, and allowing ourselves to move into new ways of thinking, to actually responding to things rather than a knee-jerk reaction to it. And because the knee-jerk reaction is often just a habit that we get ourselves into. So it's time to start creating new habits, new ways of thinking, that's going to take us to regain and to retain that inner authority, so that we can stand in our true power. We can start to stand in the true essence of who we are, and move forward in much more positive ways. And rather than focusing on the aspects of what the issues are that's causing maybe some concern, worry, or that anxiety, we actually become solution oriented. And when we become solution oriented, we actually start to focus on more positive ways out of something, rather than looking at what's dragging us down, because what we focus on is what we become. Those are the energies that we create within ourselves. So if we're focusing on the issue, we can often bring ourselves down and become more fearful, more anxious. Whereas if we look at the solution to things, we're looking to the way forward, then we're actually creating something more positive and more uplifting.
And I think that sometimes comes from very much, first of all, like the Federation was saying, acknowledging that there's anxiety or there's tension within our bodies. You know, we may feel that in our body, we may find it in our behaviour, we're not able to settle, we're not able to focus, it's affecting our sleep, it's affecting the way we think, it's affecting our relationships. So asking ourselves, you know, how am I feeling within myself? What's going on inside me? Making that a regular practice, because then you nip any anxiety or tension in the bud before it builds to something that has become very dominant within you. Because when we address that anxiety, we become empowered. We're reassuring ourselves. Like Paul said, when we're in our alignment to our inner authority, we stand in that power, and this gives us strength. And this strength helps us to actually become a part of us. And as that strength becomes a part of us, that resonates out around us and actually strengthens humanity and strengthens the collective. And this is where this energy can sustain humanity and move us into that expansion, rather than this restrictive energy that is restricting us, it's stopping us in our tracks rather than trying to control us. But when we have that movement and that strength within us that gives us that resilience and that confidence in ourselves, then that's going to help so much further than you realise. And I know Paul was going to talk about layers of anxiety, or the way sometimes outside agencies have tried to manipulate and control humanity for many, many centuries. And I know a lot of you are very aware of this. So by not letting those layers grow, by not letting that anxiety grow, but by taking our inner authority, using discernment, and not letting that outside influence cause anxiety within you and control you, but by taking your empowerment, standing in your inner authority, and that helps you regain balance, regain strength, regain clarity and joy.
And when we were going through and deciding on the topic for this show, we were guided to actually mention that there is a lot of misinformation out there, whether it's from organisations, governments, it might be family, it might be supposed friends or people we just know. But that information is often put on us in layers. And what happens is it's created to for them to control us in some way, to control us through our emotions, to control us through our fears and anxieties. But then, rather cleverly, what often happens is that the source of that anxiety is then removed or reduced, so that individual or groups are actually thought of as being the saviour. So it sort of gains our trust of them more. And then they put in another layer that creates a further distress within ourselves, and that can often reenact the previous layer that has gone before. So each time these layers they're putting on, it's increasing the anxiety and the fear, and often this is done to actually to control us more.
And I think then that we can, use that discernment to step back and see things as they really are. Is this true for me? How do I feel about that? But the feelings are so important that we check in daily, so regularly with ourselves, because then we can catch things earlier on. As I said, if we can catch this earlier on, it's going to minimize the effect that the anxiety and the fear has, and then we can create required changes for the expansion of ourselves initially, and then helping humanity move forwards by holding that space and remaining in our sense of centeredness and connection. So as you then do this, you know, while there may be others running around like headless chickens, taking notice of every bit of misinformation coming to them, but through your discernment, you hold that space, you almost shine your light and provide the guidance energetically that will assist others to join you on that journey within, that journey of expanded and of loving consciousness, the empowering part of our existence that is here to be that, to drive us forward from that engine, from the spirit of who we are, and not let others control what we think and who we are, but that control comes from that self-mastery, that mastery and that love for ourselves. So just remember, we are all energetic, multi-dimensional beings, far more than this vessel, and our thoughts are electrical impulses and our emotions are magnetic waves, and together our thoughts and our emotions form a biofeedback loop. So whatever is dominant in our thoughts, this is what is being reflected back to us. So choose to be more conscious of your thoughts. Choose to come from that higher self. Choose to come from your discernment and that alignment of your inner authority. This is the most empowering way to live from your true existence. So I can feel Jarama coming through. I'm going to be quiet and enjoy his words of wisdom, and you can feel that energy resonating. Enjoy.
Hello, my friends. We feel that it is time to remind you that you are all co-creators. So allow yourselves to step in to the power of that. Accept the power that that brings towards you. Allow it to fill you with an energy that will take you forwards in more positive ways. Because in accepting that you are co-creators, you can more deliberately start to co-create through having deliberate thoughts. And through those deliberate thoughts, you become more discerning, as has already been mentioned. Becoming more discerning to what those deliberate thoughts are. And this, in doing this, this is how you become more deliberately co-creators of your life. And if you become the deliberate co-creator of your life, you begin to affect not just the energies of yourself more positively, but for all of humanity and all of existence. We have said many times that everything is connected. There is no separation. And the more that you can create a greater sense of an almost purity within yourself, these are the energies that you are beginning to share. These are the energies that begin to create your experiences. You begin to see those same circumstances with a new way of thinking, within a new light. But also, we would say, as part of being that deliberate co-creator, realizing that part of that is discerning what you wish to listen to, what you wish to believe, what you choose to believe, what you choose to do is all important. If you were to pick up the hot handle of a saucepan, your immediate reaction would be to let it go. It is a natural response. If something is hurting you, you let it go. So why does so many aspects of humanity seem to almost have this prevalence for holding on to that which is causing them distress, to that which is causing harm to them? And by harm we mean not just physical, but also mental, emotional, and therefore also spiritual. Because every time you are creating and allowing that fear and anxiety to increase within yourself, you are separating yourself off from your true aspect, from your spirituality. The truth of who you are is one of divine, infinite energy. Accept that and allow yourself to become closer to that by removing the elements that cause distress within your life. And as has already been said, the more that you can reduce that, you become a more open vessel to that inner knowing and that inner guidance that is always a part of you. Because it is coming from you, from your soul. It is coming forth to manifest itself in your physical existence, to assist you, to help take you forward, to help you to grow, to help you to become the best that you can be, to help you to be at peace. And it's through that peacefulness that you can see what is true for you. Not what somebody else wishes you to think is your truth, but you begin to see your real truth. You begin to experience life in more magical ways. You begin to experience more joy rather than the stress and sorrow of life. And that is not to say that you become this aloof, standoffish individual. It just means that you become more discerning. You begin to express a greater love, because that is the truth of who you are. And that in itself then goes into those circumstances and situations and events to assist in a better outcome. So in short, allow yourselves to recapture your inner authority, the inner authority of your divine spirit, your divine essence, and allow that love to manifest in more ways into your life that creates a greater positivity and therefore a greater expansion. And when you allow this, you are experiencing the purpose of your existence in this physical life, and all the other things that you wish to achieve and desire to achieve will flow from that. Trust in yourselves, believe in yourselves, and allow your divinity to shine in all that you are. Goodbye for now, my friends. Our energies are always with you. Remember this. you are always supported, even if it is unseen. It is always there. Know it, trust in that, and allow yourself to be filled with that upliftment. Goodbye for now, my friends.
Thank you. Bye for now. Just, although I've been party to Jarama's teachings for over 30 years now, I just feel so immensely blessed to have that access to listen to those teachings and to help them become, integrate them into us as a greater part of our being. And nothing, they'd probably say, other than my higher self has really helped me more to grow into who I've been. And just before we close, talking about anxiety, my younger years, I'm not saying I don't get anxious now, because there are the odd times I do, but growing up I was just such an anxious person, and through devoting myself to affirmations, to my yoga practice, to my spiritual practice, to my meditation, nothing has really changed my life more. And I just feel so much more happy and calm, and know that I can create my reality. And we just have to allow ourselves to take that decision, to acknowledge any anxiety, and then engage. What is this about? Where is this coming from? Make that quiet time, but infuse it with the light and the breath and that affirmation they gave us earlier, or the mantra. I am the light, I am the love, I am all that is. And sometimes I'll just repeat that over and over again as I'm waking in the morning. So set that intention to be the truth of who you are, to empower yourself, to not let others, whoever it is or wherever it's coming from, have control over you. Stand in your inner authority. Let that take you forward. Let that open you up to greater empowerment, guidance and clarity. And that will set your path on fire. So from my heart to yours,
and from my heart to yours,
we're sending you lots of love. Please remember to leave any feedback when it's on YouTube in the comments below, and anything you feel you would like us to consider discussing on the show in future. Have a great May and July.
And the next show
forgot all about that.
Is June 21st.
Yeah.
So it's always the third Wednesday of the month.
So enjoy the new moon. That's tonight and tomorrow, I think. Enjoy those energies. Just enjoy. Make sure you get out and have some fun and be in nature. And sending you much love. Thank you so much for watching, so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next month.
Okay, bye for now.
Lots of love. Bye for now.
Take care.